Final Fantasy XVI is all about spectacle, and spectacle in a good way. I didn't really care for Final Fantasy XVI. I saw the reveal trailer, didn't really care for it, and left it in the back of my mind. But when the state of play was announced that it was going to be about Final Fantasy XVI, I decided to take a look at it, and wow, what a state of play. I have to say, it turned me from being somebody that's, don't really care, into, I really want to play Final Fantasy XVI. Now, we weren't shown much about the story, which is fine because this is the first big marketing push for the game. We'll probably get more of that down the line. But I do hope we get a good cast of characters because Final Fantasy is always better if you have more characters to play off the main character, because sometimes main characters can be kind of boring. So I hope that we get some good cast of characters to work with. But what I really want to talk about, and what it seems like Final Fantasy XVI is most proud of, is its combat, its spectacle, and its icon battles. Boy, do they love to show off their combat. I mean, they literally just said, yeah, look what we can do without combat. This is the first action-based Final Fantasy, which is something I think they've been working towards. Not only did you see that in 15, you saw it in the Final Fantasy VII remake, so they've been trying to get away from this turn-based and more into the action realm of it, which makes a lot of sense because a lot of RPGs nowadays are like this action-oriented gameplay. And I think Final Fantasy had to at least try to do something like this, especially in their mainline titles. And boys, this combat just looked fun. The combat just looks so much fun. So much spectacle, so much craziness that I don't think you can ever get bored. It looks like it's a mixture of Final Fantasy 15, there's some of 14 in there, Devil May Cry, and some Kingdom Hearts, and you've got Final Fantasy 16's combat. Now, it may seem like the combat is overwhelming, but I think it's just because it's really hard to market combat. You really have to you can't get the feel of combat until you've played it. So I hope they get a demo out so you can just experience the combat. And since it's going to be an action-oriented game, they clearly wanted to make sure that everyone can play it. Look, there's a lot more people playing video games nowadays, more than ever. And there's a lot more people that really, really suck at it, especially action games like these. A lot of people suck at these games. So the accessibility options of being able to do automatic dodges, one hit, one move combos, those all make so much sense to me. And also having a story focus mode, just again, makes so much sense. They want more and more people to play the game, to enjoy the game. And even though they are happy about their combat, they know that a lot of people is not going to enjoy it, since you're probably going to be doing combat like 80% or 90% of the time. So make it easy for those who really suck at it. Now, I'm not going to be doing that as I am a hardcore veteran, but it's good that it is there. Combat as well seems to be just so crazy. It seems like you can switch between multiple elements very quickly. And it doesn't seem like it's going to be like Devil May Cry level where you're going to have to do freaking Street Fighter combo moves, but it does look like you will be able to do some moves as well, increasing level stats, gaining new abilities, even having the game choose for you abilities, though that's, to be fair, that's everywhere. And then leveling up these abilities. And it looks like you won't have a wide range of abilities. You won't have 80 abilities, but instead a small selection that levels up and changes over time, which I think works, especially in combat like this. But again, there's just so much spectacle. There's even a spectacle on the enemy side where they will jump in and do their special moves, which looks really, really good. Don't know how I feel about the AI companions, but they said that they're going to try to change with you and be smart. Yeah, we hear that a lot. Now, it makes sense you can't really control the AIs, you can't really tell them what to do, because again, it's action oriented. But at least you can control the dog, which seems to be the one companion that's going to be with you throughout the game, which makes it much more happy in case they like to screw up. I just hope they heal you in time and they do their special moves when you need them to do, and not make use of a move that they're resistant to, and they keep you using the resisted move. So here's hoping that the AI combat does work well. There's more spectacle in the world itself. These areas just look amazing. The castle, the crystal caverns, the desert, the mine, the town, they all look really, really good. And it seems like that they've taken away the open worldish of the game and turned it into more small, big areas that are highly detailed. And I kind of like that move, just because while 15 had this big open world, hardly anyone really explored it. It felt like the game just stopped you from really exploring the open world, and that was a big issue in 15 for me. And I think they decided, let's take that away and just make these big open areas so you don't just run around in a forest or a field for 10 minutes straight. And I think that's a good choice. Because it's going to make every area at least feel unique, and instead of all the entire world feeling the same for a long time. They also wanted to work on the world building, and I think this is another good choice. A lot of people love to delve into the lore of these games, and sometimes there just isn't enough. And here they've decided, hey, we're going to give you everything. I mean, I looked at the freaking world building stuff, the freaking like family tree and relation tree, which is just insane. But I think this is also good because while this game seems to be like 70 or 80 hours long, well, life will eventually get into the way, and you probably won't be able to play all of this game in one sitting. So when you play the game and probably leave it for a week and come back, you will have like, what the hell's going on? And you can just probably jump in, get a recap, which I think is also really, really good. So it makes sure that you never are lost in the game. You always know what's happening. So yeah, good on the world building on that end. Then we got to talk about the icon battles, and seems to be the star of Final Fantasy 16. You take the summons, you take God of War 3 big boss battle, and you turn it up to 100 and give a Final Fantasy spin on it, and that's exactly what it is. Why watch a cutscene of a summon when you can be in the cutscene of the summon? Now, I don't know how many icons there is, because this is the big fear I have. While these all look great, it could be like 6 summons. There could be like 6 summons or 6 icons that they call it. And that's it. Which means, oh, well, there's your big boss battles and that's it. That's all you get. Or they could be like 4 main ones and then just like the rest of them are all like reskins. But I do like what I see. I like that big like tentacle fight monster. I like the flying one. So yeah, they all look very, very interesting. And they did say they're going to be a lot different. Some is going to be like a wrestling match. Some is going to be like a 2D shooter. And again, that's something you don't really see a lot in Final Fantasy games. And again, what I love about it is the spectacle. You just see this insanity going on. Them fighting and flying around, destroying buildings around you, having this entire area just be destroyed by the spell. And it seems like that is something they took over from the combat and put it into a larger scale for the icon fights. Again, I just sitting there watching it, you're like, wow, I really, really want to play this game and just see how this all looks and how it all runs. Now, they didn't talk about frame rate modes or graphic modes or anything like that yet, but we'll probably get that more down the line. And you can clearly see that Sony wants this game as an exclusive. They really want this game as an exclusive. But we'll see as the game does come out. I think it's in June, it said that they were coming out. And I just can't wait. It's turned me from being into a literal goddamn fan. Which is crazy because I think in this month that it's coming out, there's a lot of other games like Street Fighter 6 and Diablo all coming out. So Final Fantasy is really trying to sell you that you gotta be playing this instead of anything else. And it's doing a damn good job at it. So tell me down below, how do you feel about this new Final Fantasy? Are you liking the combat? Are you liking the setting? Do you like the story? What don't you like about it? And what more do you want to see? Like, comment, and subscribe, all those good stuff, and share the video. You know, you gotta do the YouTube things. Alright, I'll see you next time.